According to the writings of Ellen G. White, EGW, particularly in her book The Great Controversy, the final deception is not a single event but a sophisticated, multi-layered strategy designed by Satan to lead the world away from God's law just before the second coming of Christ. She identifies several key components of this end-time strategy. 1. The two great errors. EGW emphasizes that Satan's final success rests on two fundamental theological deceptions. The immortality of the soul. This teaches that the dead are still conscious. EGW explains that this lays the foundation of spiritualism, allowing spirits of devils to personate dead loved ones or even biblical apostles to spread false doctrines. Sunday sacredness. This creates a bond of sympathy with Rome. She argues that the final conflict will revolve around the fourth commandment, the seventh-day Sabbath versus the idol Sabbath, Sunday. 2. The crowning act. Satan personating Christ. The most powerful deception EGW describes is the counterfeit second coming. She refers to this as the crowning act in the great drama of deception. The appearance. Satan will appear as a majestic being of dazzling brightness, resembling the descriptions of Christ in the book of Revelation. The message. He will speak in a soft, musical voice, heal diseases, and claim to have changed the Sabbath to Sunday. The distinction. EGW notes that while he looks and sounds like Christ, he will be recognized as a fraud because his feet do not touch the earth. Christ's second coming is visible in the clouds, and he contradicts the law of God. 3. Spiritualism and miracles. Satan will move beyond mere trickery to actual supernatural manifestations. Miracle-working power. Satan will work through human agents to perform signs, including making fire come down from heaven. Appeals to emotion. Spirits will appeal to tender human sympathies, like the love for a deceased parent, to convince people to reject the plainest truths of the Bible. 4. Counterfeit revivals. Before the loud cry of the third angel, EGW predicts that Satan will introduce false revivals in various churches. These will be characterized by extreme emotional excitement, a form of godliness without the power of true sanctification, the rejection of the law of God in favor of pleasing fables. The only safeguard. It is written. EGW is adamant that the only way to escape these deceptions is through a thorough knowledge of the Bible. She states, "None but those who have fortified the mind with the truths of the Bible will stand through the last great conflict." The Great Controversy, page 593. The ultimate test will be whether a teaching or miracle aligns with the Ten Commandments. If a being, even one appearing as an angel of light, claims that the law has been abolished or changed, he is to be identified as the deceiver. In Thessalonians chapter 2 are the two primary pillars of New Testament prophecy. They work together to describe both the signs of the end and the nature of the great apostasy. Below are the key supporting texts and cross-references that help unlock these chapters. 1. Matthew chapter 24, the Olivet Discourse. Jesus gave this sermon to warn his disciples about the destruction of Jerusalem and the end of the world. The primary theme is watchfulness against deception. Key supporting texts. The warning of false Christs, VV 4-5, 1 John chapter 4 verse 1. Warns to test the spirits, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. Revelation chapter 12 verse 9 identifies Satan as the one who deceives the whole world. The abomination of desolation, version 15, Daniel chapter 9 verse 27 and 12:11. These are the original prophecies Jesus is citing regarding a power that desolates the sanctuary and opposes God's law. Luke chapter 21 verse 20. The parallel account, which clarifies that for the local disciples, this meant Jerusalem surrounded by armies. The manner of Christ's coming, version 27, Revelation chapter 1 verse 7, confirms that every eye will see him, contrasting the secret appearances of false Christs in the desert or inner rooms. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verses 16-17 describes the literal, audible, and visible nature of the second coming. 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, the man of lawlessness. Paul wrote this to correct a misunderstanding that the day of the Lord had already come. He explains that a great apostasy, falling away, must happen first. Key supporting texts. The falling away, version 3, 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1, predicts that in later times, some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons. Acts chapter 20 verses 29 to 30. Paul warns that savage wolves would arise from within the church to draw away disciples. The self-exalting power, version 4, Daniel chapter 7 verse 25, describes the little horn power that speaks pompous words against the Most High and intends to change times and law. Daniel chapter 11 verse 36 describes a king who will exalt and magnify himself above every god. The working of Satan with signs and wonders, VV 9 to 10, Revelation chapter 13 verses 13 to 14, describes the beast from the earth, performing great signs, even making fire come down from heaven, to deceive the inhabitants of the earth. Exodus chapter 7 verses 10 to 12, a historical parallel where Pharaoh's magicians used demonic power to counterfeit God's miracles. The connection, why they matter together. Matthew chapter 24 gives us the signs to look for in the world: wars, rumors of wars, natural disasters, while 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 reveals the spiritual crisis inside the religious world. Both conclude that the only way to avoid the strong delusion, 2 Thess 2:11, is a love of the truth.